Hello and welcome to the Drummergy podcast, episode 175. The Drummergy podcast is the show about life and music, and the show is sponsored by 12th Fret Music, located at 671 South Capitol Boulevard in downtown Boise, Idaho, and they are the Pacific Northwest's largest inventory of new, used, and vintage guitars, basses, and amps, and soon carrying drum heads and sticks. I actually was messaging Rob on Sunday, and he said, I'm sorry, the stuff's being ordered today. So there we go. There we go. I think I'm live. It says I'm live. Yes, I am. So today's topic is going to be about using in-ear monitors, which I'm wearing mine now. See? Yes, I'm a big fan. Some people not so much are not a fan of in-ear monitors, and we'll discuss that here in a moment. The producer is on her way out. She was making up some kind of yogurt fruit something that she's been eating for breakfast recently in our diet change. Oh, that's what's happening. So she should be out here momentarily. So cool things going on. I've got some really cool guests lined out to be on the show coming up here in the near future. Last week we had Matt Starr on, and that was a great show. And thanks again, Matt, for being on this, and his words of wisdom and experience was great. And some people ask, like, because they just assume that this show is live, that's their only opportunity to watch. Well, actually, everything is archived on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching from YouTube, all the shows are there under the podcast playlist, and you can watch the latest episodes for up to 30 days on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page and the Drummergy podcast Facebook page. And if that wasn't enough, all the audio episodes are being uploaded to Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Amazon Music, along with a bunch of others that are more obscure places to listen to podcasts. But those are the three big ones that at least the show is being uploaded to. Boy, that was a really bad sentence. I think I need more coffee. Somebody, good morning, Thomas. Thomas Schuster's here. A few people have asked, like, where do you get your Drummergy coffee mugs and shirts and things? Etsy. Mary has an Etsy store called The Merry Moon, and that's where you can find all the cool t-shirt designs that she has for Drummergy and Fred Rock School of Drumming and other drum-related t-shirts. Cool stuff. Where is she? Where's the producer? I don't know. She's on all the time, and now I feel kind of lost without her being here. I'm sure she's on. Oh, there she is. She's getting settled in, because we all know that Mary's really the star of the show, right?
Hello.
I just saw you lick your fingers.
Yeah, because I
look over and I see this
butter. No, it was this part. It was this part.
Oh, that part of your thumb?
Well, I don't know what you call that. The part that where it goes into
right here?
Yeah.
You're like,
there was butter right there from.
You got butter fingers.
Yeah.
I turned your mic down because the feedback that we've had is that Mary's mic sounds great, but she's really loud.
Well,
You're a loud Mary.
Sorry.
Bringing you up quick to speed, Mrs. Producers.
You've already done that much?
We're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk about in-ear monitors.
Okay.
But first, let's talk about goofy holidays of the day.
Oh, okay.
Today, this is great for musicians. It is World Creativity and Innovation Day.
Oh.
So,
Does that mean I have to be creative today?
yes. Time to write new songs.
Write new songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm a prolific songwriter.
I know. You just made that sound where you went, ah.
It's like, have you ever tried to see how far you could go, like between little things, like?
I don't know. I can't do it right now. You're doing it. So I have this thing where I talk in my sleep, and years ago, I guess I was making that sound in my sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll actually respond if you talk to me in my sleep.
Well, hold on.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah,
because I can never tell a story without.
Well, no,
being
because
corrected.
you're asleep when this happens,
Oh,
so you
okay.
can't tell these stories.
Yes, speak.
When Fred talks in his sleep, he has like this different tone. It's really
I'm
weird.
asleep.
Yeah, you're like, Curtis what? Like whatever, you just have this weird. And so anyway, I'll ask you questions to try and keep you talking.
Yes.
But if it requires you to think, you can't do it. And you just stop talking and you go back to sleep. So I woke up to hear you going, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm sticking my head out the window and doing this. You should try it. It's really fun. Like, what?
Stick your head out the window and try.
But if I say something like, why are you doing that? No, there'll be no answering that question.
Yeah.
But I'll say like, are you doing that with so-and-so? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
You can answer like really basic things, but if you have to think, it's over.
Yeah. So don't make me think while I'm sleeping.
I know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Today is is also National Chocolate Covered Cashew Days.
I don't think I've ever had one.
I haven't either, but pretty much anything covered in chocolate is probably going to be delicious. We should come up with chocolate covered bacon.
Ew.
They probably have that already.
That sounds awful.
And then those people who are a little older, who are a little more stricken with years.
Stricken with years.
Yeah. Today is Keep Off the Grass Day.
Oh, wow.
Get off my lawn.
Keep Off the Grass Day?
Yeah.
That's an actual goofy holiday?
Yes. There it is. Right
is
there.
But maybe it has
right
a more practical, like, it's because people are fertilizing their lawns or something. Like, keep off the grass. Like, you don't want to walk on the grass.
That is true. I've been out walking around the neighborhood the last few days, and there's been a lot of companies spraying for weeds and pests. And
yeah, dandelions are going nuts.
Yeah. Along with my allergies right here inside my nose itches so bad. Actually, yesterday was probably the best I felt as far as allergies go in like the past week.
Well, you need to find a better allergy medication because it doesn't seem to be working for you.
I think I should just not go outside.
You're doing this inside. You keep sniffing and sniffing.
Well,
sniffing.
it's that's what happens every time this year.
Yeah, well.
And on a different note, I officiated my first wedding this weekend.
You sure did.
That was never on my radar.
Nope.
Of things that I would do.
Yeah, I never thought
intentionally.
Yeah.
I never actually was ever sitting around thinking, it'd be kind of cool if I did was to officiate a wedding.
That'd be a great side hustle. I should do that.
That was never, now in all the meetings that we've had on like how to run our business, that has never come up.
Nope.
Ever. Until about, what was it, mid-February?
No, I think it was March.
No, because it was my first gig with Jukebox.
Wasn't that in March?
No, it was in February. Yeah.
I think that was in March.
I think it was in February. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight.
I thought their first one there was February.
At any rate,
February, March, April.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
The point
it
is,
absolutely
the point
matters.
is that the Pixlers came to me and said, "Hey, will you officiate Ashlyn's wedding?" And I was like, "What?" I thought they were joking. But now it's come and gone, and I did it. I got my ordained minister license and everything. Now, you tell somebody you're an ordained minister, it sounds like you did some kind of class, maybe that you had to.
A program. Oh, it took
Right.
me 13 months to go through the program, and I got my certificate. And
Yeah, that's there was nothing. This is how easy it was, people. I I went onto the website that was suggested to me, put in my name and address, and then hit next, and it said, "Boom, you're an ordained minister. We're going to send you this certificate with this number."
I have to ask what even the point is of getting ordained if it's that simple. Like if it's that,
I don't know.
if you really have to do nothing, like what's the point?
Yeah,
Then just
you
anybody
literally
can,
have to
like,
do nothing but put in your name and
they
address.
could have just walked down the aisle and like turned around and said, "Is there anybody in here who could just just marry us?"
I think it's probably just a small little legal hoop to jump through. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. And it cost me $60 to get the certificate, I think.
Well, it's a lot cheaper than going to school for 13 months.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Speaking of which,
Going to school?
yeah.
Are we talking about our son?
Yeah.
Okay, so the producers had to leave the show every Tuesday about 7:45 to take our son to culinary school.
Well, it's called Life's Kitchen.
Well, it's still a school that
and
is,
they're teaching kids life skills.
yes.
So they teach them, and it's based around cooking. So cooking and like how to do your taxes, and if you didn't graduate, they'll help you get your GED. And
But Ian did graduate.
How to apply for jobs, and they'll do mock interviews and all that kind of stuff because they're trying to help these kids have life skills.
Yeah.
So Mr. Life Skill,
yes,
decided. I mean, he went there because he wanted to become a chef. And
well, he still wants to be a chef.
Right, I know, but that was the reason why he went.
Yes.
But there's no culinary school in Boise anymore. There used to be one at Boise State. The closest one is through College of Southern Idaho in Twin, and I'm not sure like how great of a school it is. But then there's like the big ones, right?
Well, all that to be said is,
so he's decided through this program he wants to. So he was going to do this apprenticeship up at McCall.
Yeah, he was supposed to move to McCall the first weekend of May, and now he did so well, like his teacher.
It's like a guest chef that comes and teaches things.
Yeah.
So he's not like a normal part of the program, but
Ian might move to Italy.
Well,
or France.
Or Switzerland, or Charlotte, North Carolina.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So
but it's exciting.
So the chef guy, basically what was happening is the program up in McCall was not getting back to him about housing because they provide housing. I shouldn't say they provide housing. They have housing there that you can rent. So it's like there's like dorm style, there's apartment style, whatever. There's like 3 different styles of these things that you can rent that's affiliated with Shore Lodge for the chefs.
Yep.
And so the lady in charge was not like, she would get back and say, "Oh, I don't have that ready yet. I don't have that ready yet." And we're like, we're getting closer and closer to needing to move up. And he needs to know what he needs to bring with him. Like, will he be able to bring his computer? Like, what kind of room will he be in? Will there be enough for him to have that kind of stuff?
Just no communication.
Or is he going to be in a tiny little room where he shares with somebody else and there's no room for something like that?
Right.
And so the other guy that was going to go up with him decided he had enough of that. And like, it wasn't getting anywhere, and they weren't feeling very confident about going up there. And it's a year. So you'd be signing a contract for a year.
Yeah.
And then they had these mock interviews during their last week so they just finished last week. Last week was their last week of Life's Kitchen. And so they had these mock interviews, and this chef was talking to both of them about going to culinary school instead. Mm-hmm. And that the reasoning was that if you go up to Shore Lodge and do the apprenticeship, and there's also one through Sun Valley, but if you go up and do that, you're just learning how to cook the food that they're serving, and you're not actually learning skills, mm-hmm. like the education behind it. And so he talked them into like trying to go to culinary school,
which is cool.
an actual like good school. And so I just did like a quick Google search, and like I remember there's this gal I started watching on YouTube with the All Recipes channel, and she had mentioned she went to school in North Carolina for culinary school. And so I looked up what culinary schools are in North Carolina, and this one, Johnson Wales, pops up. I'm like, oh, this Johnson Wales one's in Charlotte, which is like 30 minutes from my dad's house.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, perfect. He could go live with my dad.
He could go live with Grandpa.
And so anyway, it turns out it's like one of the top schools in the country.
Yeah.
But then this guy's talking to them about getting them scholarships and helping them to go to Italy. And he actually just helped one of the girls that just recently graduated from the program go to Italy. She just left.
Well, it's really exciting, but we
Yeah.
should get to our topic of today.
Okay.
Chip Ritter is here, Mary.
Hi, Chip.
And I get to meet Chip face-to-face this Saturday, along with Bart Robley, Jeremy Steinkohler, and Rick Stojak, Chris Brady from Aquarian Drumheads.
Well, that's really interesting, Fred, but we should get on with the topic.
Hey, it is. But it is very interesting.
Oh.
It's Deck Day, Drummers Education Connection. Those 4 guys are going to be doing drum clinics at Aquarian Drumheads. And then I'm going to hang out with the guys, and something I've been trying to go to for the last few years. And finally I get to go. So it's really, really cool. And Chip Ritter is here.
Hello, Chip.
And we're going to talk about in-ear monitors. And Gary Tackett is also here. And Gary and Chip have already started the conversation about in-ear monitors. And Gary said they are a necessity for a large stage. And then Chip says, I only use them with a track or click. Otherwise, I don't prefer them. So this is really great discussion. I use in-ear monitors like exclusively now, and I believe you do as well, Mary, playing with your band. And it'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are, because you're a singer, and how that affects you.
Yeah.
And I can hear you eating yogurt. And I can see you eating yogurt.
Sorry, am I being loud? Is it the clinking of the bowl?
It's the clinking of the spoon in the bowl.
I was like, oh my gosh, am I making mouth noises?
No.
Okay.
John England is here. Yo, John. What's happening, man? John's one of those cool guys that I don't get to see or talk to very often, but every once in a while he pops up, and I get really excited that John England is here.
Hi, John.
Yes. So this whole
hi, Gary.
This whole topic today was spawned by one of our local musician Facebook pages called Treasure Valley Performing Musicians. Somebody had put a post in there about getting new in-ear monitors and how they like the in-ear monitors, and so it sparked a conversation, and it seemed like people are pretty hard yes or hard no on in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
See, now John and Gary are saying hi to Mary.
Hi.
Mary, we got you a microphone. I guess the next thing to do is get you a camera.
Oh no, that means I'd have to get up and do my hair and my makeup and
oh, you poor soul. Let everybody see you. Boy. Yeah. So we already know that Gary uses them, thinks they're necessary on a big stage, and then Chip, if he has to use a click or a track, will use them. Oh, now Gary's saying hi to me. I feel included. I'm included in the conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there's some things that completely change how you experience playing live, and for me, in-ear monitors became like a necessity for me probably close to 20 years ago now. And prior to that, playing with my band, especially Midline and other bands that I played with, you'd be like rehearsing in a garage environment and playing drums really loud and screaming guitar amps and a bass amp, and then a PA with vocals coming through it.
Sounds like rock and roll.
Sounds like rock and roll, baby. Yeah.
All right.
And it was really exciting and fun to do all of that. And then that would be kind of the same deal playing live, except everything would be mic'd up, right?
Yeah.
And then I would have a floor wedge.
Yeah.
That's a speaker on the floor pointed at my head.
Yeah.
Sometimes two. And so you're just like sitting in the middle of a speaker, basically. And it was loud and fun and cool. But then when you get done with the show and you lay in bed at night, you hear this ooh forever and ever in your ear, right?
The quiet becomes really loud.
It does become really loud. And so then you're like, oh, I got this ringing in my ears. I got to sleep with the fan going to drown out that noise. So in addition to the ooh, you got this brrr fan blowing, right? And hoping that the fan is louder than the ooh in your ears. Which I know when you're in your early 20s, maybe late 20s, that feels like rock and roll, right? Well, then the ringing in your ears seems like it goes on for days.
Okay.
Right?
That's a problem.
That's a problem. So I think for me, my exposure to in-ear monitors began at church.
It did, yeah.
Playing music at church.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to find out how to make music quiet.
Yeah.
Right? Well, what do? You can start by eliminating floor wedges because that's a bunch of extra speakers on the stage.
And I don't remember if it started at our church or Jim's. Because it was around the same time.
I think it was probably Jim McCroskey when we were playing with him. They were already up on all of that stuff. So it is a learning curve to get used to having these in your ears, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too far in the weeds of like which ones should you get or could you get, but they have some pretty decent, inexpensive in-ear monitors that you can get, and all the way up to where you can get molds made of your ears and send those molds off to the company that you prefer to use.
Yeah.
And however many drivers they have, and they're custom made for you, right? And so you can end up spending a few $1,000.
Yeah.
Or
you could just go buy a pair of skull candies and use
which
those.
Is where I started with a pair of skull candies, and I thought those were really cool.
Yeah, we had skull candies at Jim's church, but then at our church, they are what were those? Were those Behringer?
I think so.
Units that they came with a set of headphones, so we all or earbuds. So we got, and those were a little nicer. They looked like they fit in your ears. They had like more of a vibe like that. But I remember when we first started, and my first experience was, I know my first experience of trying them at least was at our church. And I did not like hearing my voice that close to me. It was just a weird, I don't know how to explain it. It was kind of uncomfortable and like like when you see people coming up and they talk in a microphone for the first time, they're scared to hear themselves and they kind of pull the mic away and then they're really quiet because it's like, now we can't hear you because the mic is like 3 feet from your mouth.
Yeah.
And because they like are uncomfortable hearing themselves. And so for me, it was that kind of experience. But I quickly got used to it once we actually started using them.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about preferring, like as a singer, I prefer them because like I said, like my voice is right there in my ear and there's not the distance between me and this floor wedge. And then there's all this competition of trying to hear what I need to hear.
Yeah.
So you've got the guitar player over there with his amp that's competing with me hearing my voice coming out of a floor wedge, and then the bass player, and then the piano player, and then the other singers that want to hear themselves. And at our church, it became a real nightmare.
Yeah.
And the sound on stage just kept getting louder and louder to the point where people were getting upset about it in the congregation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they ended up having like, I mean, long story short, there was like a team that came in and like did an assessment, and they're like, this is a huge problem because they don't even have you on in the mains anymore. It's like, oh my gosh.
Right.
So
Yeah.
part of the solution
Excuse me.
was to get rid of the acoustic drums and switch to electric drums to bring the stage volume down.
Yep.
And to ditch the amps on stage.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't remember if Ted and John took their amps out. I feel like they were still there, but maybe not.
I think they were. But so James Harrison's here, and he makes a good point because of the evolving technology of all this.
Yeah.
James says, I think that, well, let's just put James's comment up.
I have to keep refreshing my screen. It won't let the comments they're not just coming up like they're supposed to.
Weird.
It's weird.
James says, I think that technology has evolved enough now that in-ear monitors have become a very good sound option versus just an earplug that allows you to hear no longer a tin type sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really sucks when you're trying to hear yourself sing and you feel like all you're getting is like this nasty mid-range. And so then you're like, oh, well, can we turn like some reverb in there or something? Like you're trying to do anything to make it sound better. And then as a singer, you're trying to make up for the fact that it sounds bad. So then you're singing differently, and maybe you're singing harder or louder, and then you just end up hurting yourself. And so there's like a learning curve, like you said, like there's adjustments that have to constantly be made until you have it right.
Yeah.
And so don't think that like you might get it right this gig. It might take several gigs to get it right.
Well, here's one thing I noticed, because I went back to that Treasure Valley Performing Musicians page and kind of read through the comments before we started. And several of the comments were some of the musicians didn't like them. Their experience with them was using them for the first time to play live. And that's a bad situation, because I think you need to rehearse with them.
Yeah.
And get used to them being in your ears and the adjustment of sound to be made. It's like waiting till the live show to experiment with this new thing that you're not used to is probably going to be a miserable experience.
Yeah.
And so because that was their experience, now that they're pretty resistant to it. And look, I'm not trying to sell somebody on you should really switch over to using in-ear monitors. I'm sharing my experience with that. And for all the stuff that I'm involved with, it's like necessary. It's necessary because I get the mix, and most venues now have digital mixers, and they have a dedicated Wi-Fi to that. And so I have a handful of different apps on my phone. Like this is the one for the Q-Mix. You can't really see the colors very well. It's in demo mode, but this gets sent to me, and I can, is it going to work? I'm backwards. So I could scroll through. Let me try it this way. I can scroll through the different instruments, and I get to set my own mix.
Yeah.
With this. So I can bring up all the individual drums. I can bring up the cymbals, guitar, bass, vocals, keys, horns, whatever's in the system. I can control that myself. So now I'm not trying to get the sound engineer's attention. I need more or less of this. I can just do it on my own. So that is a time-saving advantage. And I get to mix how I want to hear things in my ears.
Yeah, that's totally golden, is being able to just adjust it yourself.
And then like, every person in the band can have
too loud.
Every person in the band can have that app on their phone, and they can dial in their monitors however they want to hear it. And the other cool thing is so many venues, like I said, have these digital boards. I know, like, excuse me, for like the Knitting Factory and the Revolution, they have saved in their system the last mix they had for Midline. And so they already have saved my monitor mix. So the next time we play that room with the same band and they bring up the previous mix, it's pretty dang close to what I need. And then I can make like a small little adjustment if necessary, and then they'll resave that. Uh, John England has some cool stuff to say here.
And a question.
Uh, so over the years, B&C, which is Bread and Circus, that's the name of John's band, has worked hard at developing our stage mix to accommodate all involved. We like it. Every venue has different sound reinforcement, some better than others. Sometimes we'll bring in our own PA. You kind of just answered my question. Can you talk about what all is involved regarding equipment needed to convert to IEMs for each band member, board, rack mounted equipment? Probably to some degree, John, because I'm not a sound nerd necessarily.
Well, obviously everybody needs their own earbuds of
Yes.
some sort. So whether it's
Yeah.
cheap skull candy, I can't remember. Do you remember the name of the ones I have? I bought mine off of Amazon.
You've got, I think they're called KZ
Yeah, and but they're a certain
model.
Yeah, and I like them a lot.
Yeah.
And they were like $70. They're cheap. You could buy the Shure has a brand. They range from like $100 up to like $500 depending on the drivers you get.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I think one thing that's really super simple, John, is with the Cliff Miller band, which I've played with Cliff for like the last 7 years. Like 2 years ago, maybe it's been a little bit longer now. Cliff bought a rack-mounted, I think it's a Behringer brand rack-mounted mixer, and he uses an iPad for the mixer part of it, so there's no board with faders to use. It's just all through an iPad, and then all the monitor outs, he had wireless packs for each person's in-ears. And mine are hardwired though, so I have a little bit different setup for the drummer, but that's it. Or you can get a headphone amp too to use, which headphone amps are not very expensive.
The in-ear pack and so the receiver and the transmitter stuff.
Yeah.
The wireless can be pretty spendy.
So Cliff had bought a I think there's 3 wireless packs and 3 sets of earbuds, which I think are like the Shure brand. And I think it was like $700 or something to have 3 packs. It's a really simple system, and it works really, really well.
Yeah, there's cheaper ones. I can't remember. There was a setup that I had originally when we first started with Casio Dreams, and I feel like it was called Galaxy. I can't remember, but it was only $200 for the receiver and the transmitter pieces. But and it worked fine until my ear pack fell. And it fell off of for whatever reason, I can't keep them on like a belt. Like the guys could all put them like on their belts or on their pants or whatever.
But you're a girl,
and they stay just fine. And mine just pop right out. And so I keep mine in the cool thing is 80s has fanny packs, right? So I keep mine in a fanny pack.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fall, but like it fell at the reef and hit the stage, and it was never the same.
No.
After that, it would crackle and carry on.
Jerry Fee is here. He says in-ears only and all the way, and KZs are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I use the Shure 215 in-ears, and I probably used them 12 years or so. And somewhere in that, I had to replace the wire to them. But recently, like the low end disappeared in it, so I think I blew out the low end after all of those years. And I recently became a Audix endorsed drummer, and so I bought the Audix in-ear monitors that are these A10X. Uh, these are a little over $300 just to buy retail. They sound amazing. They sound really, really good. So I think if you're looking for the over-the-counter in-ear monitors, I think that's a good way to go. Everybody has been raving about the KZ in-ear monitors. And of course, like I've said earlier, that you can get molds made of your ears and send those molds off to a more high-end company to get your ears made. I have some musician friends that seem to get a new pair every year. I'm like, I don't know how you afford $1,800 every year on new in-ears. Like, I don't know. A part of me thinks, like, if I spent that much money on them, I'm guaranteed I'm going to break them like immediately. But if I buy the less expensive ones, they're probably going to last for years and they can be beat up. And if I step on them by accident, they're still intact, which I've stepped on my in-ears by accident before. And you kind of have that panic moment, like, you're like, oh, they work fine. I think my molded ones will probably be just donezo if I did that. But for me, I mentioned earlier, like when I was younger, you'd hear the roar of the amps in the room and you'd have the ringing in your ears. I'm not the only one in the band that would experience the ringing in the ears. Like everybody in the band would have their ears ringing, right?
Yeah.
And it seemed like it would take a few days to recover from that. Well, then, but like with Midline, in the early days, we rehearsed 5-6 nights a week.
Yeah.
With shows mixed in, all of that. Like we were really busy. That's just constantly crushing your ears. And I know for a fact that I have some hearing loss to a certain degree as a result of that. But ever since I started using in-ear monitors, my ears don't ring after rehearsal or playing a show.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to run it at Mach 12, you know? And in addition to that, I play with a click like 99% of the time with most of the bands I play with. I play to a click. The only thing I haven't used a click on recently is when I did those Guns N' Roses tribute band shows where you can't play those songs to a click. They were never recorded to a click. And so the tempo of those songs can be pretty drastic within the song itself. And you can't straighten that out or just it's going to ruin it. So I play with the click all the time. Now, I don't want to get too far off in click land, but for when I was playing with Cure for the Fall and with Midline and with Cliff Miller and some of these fill-in gigs I've done recently, other instrumentation in the band has certain delays and effects put on their guitar or their bass or vocal delays that are in time with the music. And so then you have that consistency when you're playing the song at the same tempo every time you play that.
Uh-huh.
And some of the comments I saw on the Treasure Valley Performing Musicians page was bands that are trying to play too perfect, like it strips the feeling out of the song. I've never experienced that myself. No. Have you experienced that, Mary?
No.
Your band plays to a click.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing.
Yeah. Like, what's the thing? Lay it on me.
You can play in time and
yes.
play with feeling.
Yes.
And if you're not playing with feeling, then it doesn't matter if you're playing with a click or not with a click. You're playing without feeling.
Ooh, I like that.
So you might want to rethink that. But yes. It's just like listening to a highly trained pianist play, and they have this nice touch, and it just sounds really good. And then you hear a pretty decent, young kid pianist, but they don't have that touch. They don't have that feel yet.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
There's a huge
they can
difference.
Both be playing in time. They can both be playing to a click, and one's got the feel and one doesn't.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I don't fall for the, you just got to feel it, man. Like it's not, there's no feeling. Like, no, it's not how that works. But okay.
A lot of times when a band hires,
I don't feel good when I'm listening to 5 different people on stage playing at their own time.
oh man, that's like
Play
taking
together,
a
play in
song and pouring it in a blender, going.
It's like when the drummer
It's
can't
like,
decide where the tempo is, and they're all trying to keep up.
yeah,
Sorry, that's a bad feeling.
you guys are a mess.
Yeah,
A mess.
it shows. By the way,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I mean, that gets a whole nother world of like listening to the musicians around you and playing and responding appropriately, right?
Yeah.
Some people are all in their own little cocoons playing, and like they're just hoping that they're relatively playing the song at the same time.
Yeah. Well, so I think some of the comments were about like, okay, there was another comment that was like, well, if you're playing with professional musicians, okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
I thought it was a really snarky comment that made no sense.
Yeah, so we don't have to say who posted that. They may or may not watch this, but I
don't even know who it was. I just remember reading the comment, but
yeah, it said,
if you're professional, you shouldn't need to play with IEMs.
Yeah.
Like, if okay, all the professionals are using IEMs.
Right.
Thank you.
If you're a professional musician and you're playing with other professional musicians, those musicians should understand dynamics and play appropriately. And
that has nothing to do with in-ear monitors.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, this person that made that comment was also ones that led me to believe that their only experience was like they show up at the gig and the house sound company is saying, here, use these, like they were kind of thrown into it. And it's like, nah, that's not a good approach. And that sound company should have known better. But let's also acknowledge that that's kind of becoming the standard.
Huh?
It's becoming the standard to play with in-ears.
Oh, I thought you meant showing up in a sound company throws in-ears at you. Like, no,
it's becoming an assumed thing. So I had drummer Tanner Abney on the show like a little over a year ago, and that guy is out touring like nonstop with different artists and doing quite well. And when I had him on the show and he was kind of telling me about his process of getting work, I said something along like the lines like, do you tell people that you play to a click and can play with tracks and cues and all that? And he's like, no, because that's just an assumed skill.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have that skill to play with a click and play with tracks and play with cues and all of those things, it's like, they're not even going to look at you. Like, it's just an assumed thing. Like, you have to have that ability, right?
Yeah.
And in order to be able to do that, it also requires in-ear monitors because you're not going to pump a click
through a wedge,
through the wedges
for the audience to hear.
Could you imagine? Like, here, I got a metronome.
What is that?
Could you pump it through the wedges?
Is that a cowbell? What is that weird sound I keep hearing?
Right?
Why is it on every song they play?
James says, for those that love a click or in-ear monitors, no explanation is needed. For those against them, no explanation will do. Yeah, I think James is like 100% correct. I don't know. Do you think, Mary, it's kind of like old dog, new tricks kind of a scenario? Like some people are just so resistant to moving forward. And I mean, that could be true, not just with that. It's like social media and marketing and,
well, they're comfortable with what they know.
Sure.
And so they just want to stay there. But like, then there is no room for playing with a click. There is no room for playing with any sort of backing track. Like, what if you are playing music that has synth sounds in it, but you don't have a keyboard player, but you really want those sounds? Well, you're going to have to have a click. You're going to have, it's like, so you got to be able to hear where those things are going in your either in your wedges or in your in-ears. And if you're not hearing it properly, you're going to get off.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned that I played with that Guns N' Roses tribute band a couple times now.
Yeah.
Once in November and
Yeah.
once just a couple weeks ago.
But you just had the one song with a track, right?
That's what I was going to talk about. Yeah. So those now I took my in-ear monitors to use because I prefer that. But I wasn't listening to a click or tracks the first time I played with them. The second time I played with them, the song November Rain was on the list. And so we needed a track for November Rain. Now, you're not going to hire a 40-piece orchestra to step on stage and play one song, right?
Right.
So you're going to use a track for that.
Yes.
You're going to use a track for that. So I had that ready to go on my computer, and I had it split to where one side had the click in it and the other side with no click went to front of house, without getting into the weeds of like, how does the routing for all of that work? Not important for this discussion, but yeah, you need a track for that, or not play the song, or play the song without. Which, like, how does that work with no piano and no cellos and violins?
It doesn't.
It doesn't work. So it's that the old dogs who don't want to learn new tricks, they're kind of, I don't know if they're happy living in that world that they're in and they just only do a certain thing. Cool. Right?
Uh-huh.
What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at you.
Oh, you're making the sound of like I'm reading something and I'm going to just acknowledge that you said something.
No, I'm just looking at you while you're talking. Sorry.
I know this from being married to you for almost 30 years, is that like you could be like reading something on the computer and go, yeah, I have no idea what you're saying. I'm reading what I'm reading, though.
Well, now you've distracted me from what you did say. What was the last thing you just said? Because I did have something I wanted to say. But
I was talking about those people that live in that world where they only play certain venues. Maybe they never venture off into anything else, and they have their set list or whatever, and it's totally unnecessary for them to use that. Cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
I
think it's unnecessary, though, to trash something that you don't know how to use.
That's true, too.
They're terrible. Like, okay, so start making up excuses of why you don't like in-ear monitors. Oh, because the people using them are not professional. Well, that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Because the best musicians out there are using them.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like
musicians that are far better than you.
Yeah, that are making a really great living doing that, right?
Yes.
The other thing is there's most modern touring bands, there's sequencing, like with video.
Oh yeah.
And lighting.
Yeah.
And there's a whole show that's being run on a program, and so that's just the way it is. Like, people are locked into a set thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all connected.
Well, think about a show like Taylor Swift's big Eras tour.
Yeah.
With all the stuff that goes on. But even other groups, like, I'm just bringing that up because it's like the most recent thing I've seen. Like, but 3 hours of, and then she's talking about how, and it's all timed.
Yeah.
And she's talking about how she jumps down through holes, or she goes down through like an elevator thing in the stage, and has to race off. She had like 20 something. She had just a crazy amount of outfit changes.
Yeah.
And some of them were as simple as like she had like a cape on, and then she threw that off, and then she had something on underneath, or the dress broke apart or whatever. But she would be like underneath the stage, either running from one area to another, literally taking stuff off, or hurrying to put something else on in a little changing area. And she would say, I have 2 minutes to get this done. And like the big stress is she cannot be late. Like, she absolutely cannot be late.
Yeah.
Because it's all timed.
Yeah. It's all
you have to have a click.
Yep.
It's on a grid.
And we're talking about the biggest music star in the world right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That doesn't make her not professional, or her band not professionals.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Mary, if Taylor Swift was a professional and she had professional musicians, she wouldn't need any of that.
No,
How ridiculous.
she'd just be
Stupid Taylor
playing.
Swift and her billions of dollars.
Okay. Right. What does she know? Oh well.
So James,
Anyway.
yeah. No, I agree. Like, you could live in whatever world you want to live in, and that's perfectly fine. But I agree with you where you said, like, just because you don't want to use that doesn't mean that those musicians aren't professional. I know plenty of professional musicians who are just like hobby players, and they're decent players and they go and do their thing, but they accept the technology of playing with in-ears or having a streamlined, clean stage.
Uh-huh.
You know, there's I the Guns N' Roses band I just played with, the tribute band, those are all that thing is comprised of musicians from all over the country, and no rehearsal, not even a sound check. It was just a line check, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all have to play these songs like we've been playing. And you got a guitar player that's flying in from Vegas, and one that's flying in from Kentucky, and a bass player that's flying in from North Carolina, and a singer that's flying in from Tennessee, and going, "Hi, nice to meet you. Cool. You know these songs? Yeah, great. Go." That's it.
I'll see you at the end.
And a lot of times there's no guitar amp. They have like a pedal.
Yeah.
They're using amp simulators, right? Because
Yeah.
they got to put that in a backpack with their guitar and get on an airplane.
Yeah.
Well, they're not professional. There's no speaker cabinet on stage. Or
I know. Like, I can guarantee you, my guitar player is really good, and he does not need a speaker.
Yeah.
To be heard in our little in-ears.
Yeah.
He plays just well.
Yes.
And his guitar tones are spot on.
Yeah.
Because of he has, what is it, a Kemper?
And not only that, Brandon needs access to a lot of different guitar sounds, because it's not a one and done guitar tone for all those different songs that you guys play.
Yeah, we're playing so many different bands. It's not like, oh, well, this is the Eddie Van Halen sound.
And that's true for everybody in your band.
Yeah.
That's why Jeff plays a combination of acoustic drums and electric stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff is doing everything in his ability to recreate those songs how they sound on the record.
Yeah.
Right?
And Kelly.
Yeah.
Our bass player is both Kelly and Brandon have keyboards and guitars on stage.
Yeah.
And then Daniel is the main keyboardist.
Yeah. James says before in-ear monitors, lots of drummers use headphones to hear a click, sequence, or loop. Even a percussion track is a click. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and although many still do that, I believe that the IEMs have replaced that for most performers in a louder click related to performance. Yeah. Brian Lovins is here. Let's put Brian's comment up. Brian says, "Good morning, y'all. I play in a corporate band in Phoenix, and we basically have a silent stage. I play a Roland kit with drum tech shells that belong to the band, and we all have in-ears with our own mixes that we can individually control with an iPad or iPhone. It was a challenging transition from floor monitors and amps, but it really makes the gig easy, and I always have the same sound in my ears regardless of the room acoustics."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so Brian brings up a good point, like with the room acoustics. Some rooms just sound bad.
Yeah.
I would say that most of those are probably a bar-related scenario, because a lot of bars are built in a long, narrow concrete box.
Well, and it also
glass box.
It also depends on the setup. Like,
yeah,
I've played gigs where there's no choice, but the speakers are almost a little like they're not in front of the stage. They're like either flush with the stage or behind a little bit, like where we would be singing. And so I'm hearing the mains coming from behind me.
Yeah.
And it can get crazy. And like that happens even sometimes like outside. Like it's crazy from one gig to the next. It's like, why does this sound so different?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it does. Every room is different. Every place is different.
I have a question for Brian. Brian plays a Roland kit. His setup sounds similar to what maybe Jukebox uses.
Yeah.
Like everything, there's no live amps or wedges on the stage. Like everything's direct and in your ears. And Brian's a drummer. Brian, do you have a Porters and Davies drum throne or a drum throne with some kind of amp attached to it so that you feel the low end go through you as you play? I play acoustic drums, and so I could just feel the vibration through the stage of playing the drums. But anytime I've played with anybody that has a Porters and Davies drum stool, or Pearl used to make like the
butt kicker type.
Yeah, I think sometimes those people people who do a lot of gaming have some kind of like thing that shakes their seat, right?
Well, that's for the experience, right?
Right. And I think that those are really cool. Like when I filled in with Jukebox and John had that Roland, Brian says, I do not have a Porters and Davies, but I'm open to any endorsement. Who is it? Right? Who is it? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Now I don't think I would mind having an amp on my drum throne for that extra feel. I've
your acoustic set?
Yeah, because I've done that before with other drummers who have acoustic.
Well, kits. I mean, Jeff has that, so and he's acoustic.
Yeah, but I'm not going to spend $2,100 on a drum throne.
Oh no, you're not.
I'm kind of I'm with Brian. Like,
where's that episode where you talk about how to talk your wife into buying new gear?
Yes, what episode was that?
I don't know, but it's a no.
Yeah. Well,
we just bought a furnace.
We just bought a furnace
and an air conditioner.
Yeah. Our fun money is
sad now.
It's sad money that's keeping us warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Any homeowner out there that's had to replace their HVAC system knows the pains of that.
And the thing is, like 10 years ago, it would have been about $10,000 cheaper than what we just had to pay.
And it would have hurt just as much, right?
Yeah. But we'd probably be done paying for it by now.
See, I'm with Brian. If they can sell one of those for $500, I'll be the first to order one. Brian?
We'll just call them up and ask them if they'll sell you one for $500.
Brian, I want you to call Porters and Davies. This is your assignment, Brian. Brian, are you ready for your assignment? You're going to call up Porters and Davies and say, look, I know you could sell one of these for $2,100, but why don't you sell two for $1,000? I'll find my $500 to share in that.
They're like, oh, let's say one for $2,500, two for $500, or two for $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like a good deal to me.
Sounds like a $4,000 loss.
Brian said, and yes, the bottom line, musicians need to be able to play with in-ears and clicks if you want to be a professional musician. Because that's what's expected of today's professional working musician, right?
Yeah.
Chris Parks, another drummer, in-ears have changed my life. Best decision I ever made for playing live is switching to in-ears. Yeah. And Brian says, I'll mention your name, Fred.
There you go.
I'm telling you, anytime you mention Fred Fisher, it goes a long way.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And
they're like, who?
That story is of legend now.
Oh, no,
right?
No.
We have friends all over the country that have went to the school of Fred Fisher. Fred Fisher said so.
Oh, my gosh.
Can I park in the no parking zone?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Fred said.
Well, you don't know Fred Fisher?
Well, Fred told me I could park here.
That's right.
Fred.
You go find Mr. Fisher right now and take it up with him. They're like, oh, well, go ahead then.
I'm like, I'm not interested in doing that.
Jamie Vink is here. He says in-ears are a game changer. Yeah.
Yeah, they sure are.
I think all of us that do like in-ears will admit that there was a learning curve to getting used to them.
Well, it's weird having it right in your ear, right?
Yeah.
But once you figure out like, oh, I'm not competing for sound. I'm not competing with Like I'm trying to hear myself sing through this floor wedge,
Yeah.
but there's all this freaking guitar coming through it too. Like you're having to share these wedges with people. I don't have to share my inners with anybody. They're mine. It's my mix.
Yeah.
And I can bring up the bass and the, you know, and I have a great mix in my ears.
Mm-hmm.
And my voice is really loud in it. It's like up probably 3 times the volume of everything else. So I can hear myself, but then I can hear the pitch of everything, but it's just everything else is like equally quieter. Yeah. And I actually don't have drums in my ears because my microphone picks up the drums on stage.
Your vocal mic gets a little bit of drums in there.
Yeah, which like I don't know how to fix that problem, but I've figured out how to kind of manipulate like this master volume thing on my app. It's made it better. So I've been a lot happier with it lately. But yeah, I mean like I just said, like I'm now finally happy with how things are sounding in my ears, but that's taken like a long time to get that dialed in. And for some people it, you know, it could be a long time like that. For some people it could be like just a couple gigs and boom, we're good.
Well,
especially like the guys, like if they're not listening to me loud in their ears, they're not going to pick up all that extra drum stuff either.
Jamie makes a good point. He says if you're doing studio work and have cans on all the time, it makes it easy to adjust to in-ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I have a recording studio that's behind this brick wall. But so I'm recording all the time, but this is also where my band's rehearses, in this room, and it's all in-ear monitors. And for Midline, that was a learning curve for everybody else in the band, was to get used to playing with in-ears. But Anthony prefers it.
Yeah.
Like as a singer,
yeah.
he can hear immediately how he's singing.
Yeah.
And for me, like when we're writing songs, like I can hear everything so clear without it being this wash of sound that's happening in the room. Like it helps me. I think it makes
way more clarity.
I think it makes it more efficient in songwriting, is that you can hear immediately what's going on. You can hear the details of like, oh, that's what the rhythm guitar is doing, or that's what the bass is doing. Like it's all so clear and has good definition and separation. Like I can really hear everything so perfectly well.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like Bart Robley's here. Bart says in-ears are the only way to go. See? And guess what? Bart is a professional touring drummer.
What?
How unprofessional of a professional.
Bart's going, what is he talking about?
Yeah, Bart is here, and he's another guy that I get to see in person on Saturday. I'm so jacked to do that. We're gonna paint the town. Yeah. So we all know when you're playing live, and this is true. Like if you have wedges or in-ears, like when your mix is so good, I feel like I could play anything. Like I feel like I drum effortlessly.
Well, it builds your confidence.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like it's so freeing. Like the wheels just move so effortlessly when you can hear so well, and everything's just clicking, and the band's clicking, and everything's working like it should. I feel like I could do anything. I could leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
I've yet to see you do that.
Watch me.
Okay.
Bart says it's going to be a blast. Yes. Chris Parks, after many years having a wedge blowing my left ear out due to poor sound, my ears no longer ring after playing. It really boils down to that for me. I'd like to be able to hear my grandkids someday.
Right.
Yeah. And I already have enough hearing damage as it is. Like, I feel like I really mitigated that process by going to in-ears.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would say that my mix is still loud in my ears, but not like it was with a floor wedge blowing my hair sideways, you know, and having a fan on the other side blowing. So I'd have like this mohawk, right? Yeah, it's the way to go, I feel. And I think John England had asked earlier, was talking like when and related to room acoustics, and maybe Brian from Phoenix may have alluded to this in his comment, but like when you have a digital board and you save all those settings, because you're using in-ears, it doesn't matter what the room acoustics are. Is like you can have a consistent in-ear mix from room to room to room to room to room.
Yeah, as long
you know,
as you're using both ears. So
Yeah.
like for me, I take the left ear out because I want to hear the room. So I guess I'm like a hybrid.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like I sing better when I can hear myself acoustically. But also at the same time hearing myself in my in-ears. I don't know how to explain that. There are a lot of singers do that.
Yeah.
And I also want to hear what's going on in the room, is like with the audience. And there's been times we've been playing and the mains shut down and we're just playing away and nobody can hear us except for the drums.
You have no clue that the mains aren't working.
So it's like, I like to be aware of what's going on so I have the one ear out. Yeah, we've had that happen a few times. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And we're just playing along and I'm like, stop, there's no mains.
Well, you know, if you're, depending on the size of the room that you play, you get reflection off the walls coming back at you, right?
Yeah.
And
but if you've got like the in-ears like Jeff and I think what's it called, is it Sensophonics, or they have really nice, like molded, really nice expensive in-ears and they don't hear anything outside those ears. They only hear what's in their mix.
Yeah.
So there could be like a nuclear bomb going off and they wouldn't hear it. Jet flying over. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. And James and Bart both have really good comments coming up here. But I think like playing outdoor where sound just disappears so quick.
Yeah.
It almost feels like playing in a vacuum sometimes.
Yeah.
And so when you have those in-ears, you have that.
Yeah.
For me, and one thing that's being integrated more and more into in-ear mix is having audience mics. So you might have two microphones on the stage, or even one, depending on who you're playing with, but you can blend in like the sound of the room with your in-ears. So that kind of helps fill in those gaps a little bit more to make it. And again, I think that comes down to like protecting your hearing and being able to hear really well at the same time.
Yeah.
James says, I think that many against in-ear monitors might have gone through those early poor quality stages of development. And that probably could be true too. Like they weren't really that great when they first came out. Similar to when MP3s initially came out, young people jumped on the board while other older people complained about the sound quality. Development has evolved more than people's judgments. That's true too. And James in his drum videos that he does on Facebook and YouTube, James has got a microphone now on his, I think it's over his drums, which has improved the sound quality like dramatically for his videos. Sounds good, James. Bart says the only downside to in-ears is the
Do you mean expense?
I think he meant expense instead of experience. We have close to 50 grand invested in the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, sound equipment can be very expensive.
Just for in-ears?
Well, I think that's that's
a lot.
If I had to be a gambling man, I would say that's probably for their whole PA stuff. But here's a cool thing too about PA gear. Like if you're in a band like Bart's and for the most part, you're carrying all of that stuff, kind of like your band does, Mary, is that it's become way lighter to move. You're not moving 10,000-pound subwoofers.
Yeah, the subwoofers aren't very heavy. But then you're not having to haul wedges around. You're not having to move a big 810 cabinet. You're not having to move a big Marshall cabinet and amp or multiples. Like, yeah, you just bring in your board and your guitar stand and
Greg Goodell is here.
Cables.
Good morning, Greg. Greg, we've been talking for years about going and checking out your studio in
Yeah.
Emmett, and we still have not done it. We should fix that sometime, Mary. Go hang out with
sure.
Greg for a few hours. Greg says, to be fair, well, let's just put Greg's comment up. Then everybody can witness my reading skills. To be fair, I haven't had an overly positive experience with silent stage or in-ear monitors, but those were less of a complaint with the technology and more the
Ineptitude
of the sound person. I think that the experience might be different if I built my own IEM rack.
Yeah. Well,
most bands that I know that use IEMs have their own.
Yeah, you need to be able to control your own in-ear mix. Yeah. And if you have, so like for me, there's some control I don't have because I use the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had the iPad, then I could change things like EQ, and that kind of stuff. I just don't.
Yeah.
I have an iPad, but it's really old, and I don't think it would probably take an hour. I would spend the whole first set just trying to get one thing to move, I think.
Yeah.
But,
so I wanted to tell Greg, like, everything's backwards. So I have in my phone these apps. I've got the one for Behringer, the one for Presonus, the one for Mackie. So I have...
That's a mess trying to see that.
I know, sorry.
It's like really blurry.
But I can go to...
There you go.
Like, the Presonus one is the one that I use here, and with some other bands, they have that too. This is hooked up currently to our sound system here in the studio. So these are my drums. Let's see if I can swipe the right direction. Nope, got to go this way.
But like Anthony has reverb on his vocal, and
I just changed the slider and I didn't mean to. But like I have the whole room is here. What's that moving right now? That is the talkback mic. Mary's talkback is going in the other room. So at any rate, it's really easy for me to control my in-ear mix with a phone app. Super easy. And I don't have to bother the sound engineer.
Yeah.
All I have to do is get my band members' attention. Like, keep playing your bass for a second.
And this is for the wireless. So,
oh yeah.
Well, no, they're all wired in there, huh? The units that we used at church were, I think, didn't we say that was Behringer?
Oh, yeah.
And so it was all like this little unit that sat on a mic stand,
right.
And you had all these little dials and stuff.
That's old school. That's old school in-ear stuff.
Yeah, but people, I mean, they're still being used.
Yeah. It's just like
way cheaper than buying the wireless stuff, but
yeah. Where they had the
I prefer the wireless because I don't know how many times I started walking off stage. Yeah. And my ears were still attached to the
I call
thing.
Those wait a minute cables.
Yeah.
Because they catch you and jerk your head and say, wait a minute.
Or you knock it over.
Yeah. Chris. Oh, I did hit the right button. The in-ear monitors are so accessible, even the cheap Behringer or X Live transmitters make them an option for smaller bands. Just a decent set of noise-canceling earbuds with one of those setups can make a huge difference. Agreed. And the only only place to go from there is up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get in for low dough and get experience with it. James says, as a drummer, feeling the PA or loud monitors has been the battle for in-ear monitors. Putting the speaker under the throne for that thump is another thing. Yeah, and I've done that too, James. I think if you've tried in-ear monitors, that 100% block sound, it's very weird to not feel the drum vibrate. Yeah, and that's where like those, and Bart's here too, and he's got a Porter's and Davies drum throne. And there's other amps that can be clamped to your drum throne. But yeah, I've had that experience too, where I've had my in-ear monitors and dealing with a sound company that, this is cool when you're dealing with sound engineers that are also musicians, especially drummers. They can come up to me and say, hey, I know all about this. Do you want to we'll put a floor wedge and we'll just have the kick coming through, or maybe the kick and the bass, or your floor toms, like any low end sounding instrument. And it doesn't have to be really loud, but it gives you that vibration. Oh. And that makes it really fun, and it puts you in that space again where like I can play anything because it feels and sounds so good. Well, have we rambled on long enough about
I think so.
our side of the fence here with in-ear monitors? Yeah. Hey, it's Tuesday.
And
you know what that means?
You already did your silly holidays.
I know I did, but Tuesdays are the day I like to take you to breakfast.
Oh, okay. Like just ate yogurt.
Oh, well, I'll take myself to breakfast then. So Mary,
yeah,
the Drummergy podcast is sponsored by
12th Fret Music.
Yes,
located at
671 South Capitol Boulevard,
next to FedEx and across from Julia Davis Park and the library.
Downtown Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, on Capitol.
The Pacific Northwest's largest inventory of new and used and vintage guitars, basses, and amps. And I did talk to Rob on Sunday, and he's been so busy like winding down after Treefort that he is ordering Aquarian drum heads and Vader drumsticks to stock in the store.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's also home of the 64 Marshall cabinet wall.
This is true. 64 real life in person 412 Marshall cabinets all hooked up.
Yeah.
It's the world's largest guitar amp.
It is a really nice guitar store.
It is very nice. Yes.
If you haven't been there, even if you're not a guitar player, if you're a drummer or a keyboardist, you should still go check it out because it's really a nice store. And they're really friendly and really nice. And if you are a guitar player and you're possibly looking for a guitar, they'll help you find the right one for you.
Yes.
That fits your budget.
Yes.
That feels good.
They could even find a guitar for me.
That sounds good. And for a little bit, I don't know if it's still there, but they had a double neck bass guitar in there.
And who doesn't need a double neck?
I think everybody should have a double neck bass guitar.
Even if you don't play it, it should just be hanging on the wall in your studio.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Greg says he uses all the PreSonus Mix apps in studio here via phone and tablets. Yeah. Yep.
So were you saying that?
And then John England says Rob and the guys at 12th Fret Music is the best.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
I was just trying to go back to what Greg had said before. He said he didn't have a positive experience with Silent Stage.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I could see how the Silent Stage would be kind of weird for some people.
You got to practice with it first.
You do. And as a singer, it doesn't bother me. But I can see how, like, being a drummer or a guitar player, it might be kind of weird. I didn't like when I was at church, and I think this is where the taking one ear out started, was playing the actual piano. I didn't like how it was probably an EQ thing, but it sounded horrible in my in-ears. And so I would take I took the left ear out so I could hear the piano properly when I was playing it. And so it was just really mid-rangey. It sounded electronic. It just didn't sound right. And so it was an uncomfortable feeling. But that was also, that was in the early days of using them too. But I don't know.
I think it's a combination of all of that stuff, like what James was saying, like the earlier technology. That's the thing is, like,
I don't even think they use that system anymore. I don't
probably not, but like the technology of all of this evolved so fast, and it's still doing so, to where even these little speakers that we put in our ear sound better and better all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even just the over the counter ones, the stuff that you can just buy off the shelf.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just goes up from there. And then I just think, for me personally, the world I live in, all the different scenarios I'm in with different bands and what I'm trying to do with my music career, it's like a must have.
Yeah.
There's like no, now if I think if I was just that one trick pony thing, but it was like you said earlier too, like those guys look at people moving forward with that and they're like, oh, well, you're not professional if you're not.
Yeah. I think like if you don't like them, if it just feels uncomfortable to you, then just say, I don't like them. I like to hear the loud, mushy sound better, but don't make up lame excuses that, well, if you're a professional and you play with dynamics, because that makes zero sense to people who use IMs. Or like,
Yeah.
okay, that's
I still have to play dynamically appropriate,
exactly.
even though I have in-ears in.
Exactly.
It's not like I'm just suddenly just on 11 all the time. I got in-ears in. I can just play however I want.
I know, it just makes no sense.
You still have to
just
play.
say, I don't like
Yeah.
them. I don't like how it feels. I like the old way better.
Yeah.
And then people will be like, okay, well, I can respect that.
Yeah. I would say the one, and it's not a big deal necessarily, and it's, I guess maybe the frequency of what this might happen is if somebody else in the band is trying to talk to me on stage, I have to pull an ear out in order to hear them talk.
Well, yeah.
And
unless they're talking in a mic.
Yeah. So like in the cover band world, if somebody decides they're going to start skipping around on the set a lot, I have no idea what to expect, like what the next song is, because I can't rely on the set list anymore.
Yeah.
And so when somebody constantly is turning around going, what should we play? We should play this. Now my world's a little disrupted because of that, because I got to pull out an ear and try to hear what they're saying. And then, and you know what, I'm playing with the click. So now I got to adjust my click to whatever that is. And I'm trying to find it in the set list. So that just something I have to navigate in those experiences. But Greg says one of the experiences was, let's just put Greg's comment up. One of the experiences was at a venue which shall not be named.
Ooh.
Probably a good plan.
Ooh.
That means we all know the venue. And I was informed that there would be no wedges when I arrived, and was handed an IEM body pack that I was to use. Unbeknownst to me, to complicate matters, there were severe dropouts, and the sound engineer was not the greatest. Yeah, that is a crappy situation.
I mean, I can understand why somebody would be unhappy with, like, if that was your first experience too.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I'm not saying that was, you just had one of the experiences, but
yeah,
like if that was your first experience using in-ear monitors, yeah, like I could see why you'd be like, nope, there's a nope right there.
Yeah.
Complicated. Yeah. Severe dropouts, like for like how long? Because sometimes my ears like just flash, like they'll just crack out real quick, like a split second, and it's kind of distracting, like especially if I'm singing and my voice is like gone and then back real quick. It's like, I don't know if I physically react to that, like if I just changed what I did. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like sometimes I'm worried, like I just stopped singing because I didn't hear myself, or even though it's in such a fraction of a second. It's a weird experience. And
I've had that happen.
I think it has to do with the wireless.
I've had that happen a couple times. Now I am not wireless. My in-ear cable is 4 feet long, and then I have like this little headphone extension. So I can, like, when I'm playing, especially depending on how animated I'm being, I can actually stand and I don't jerk my head back with the cord. That's where like the wireless pack is handy too. But I've had my ears drop out just like for a quick millisecond, and it catches you off guard. But it's been really rare that that's happened, and I don't know if that is like, maybe it's a bad power thing, that the power flicked on and off for a quick second or whatever, or whatever's coming to me from front of house to my monitor mix glitched for a second, like. And I think that would have been the case too with floor wedges. Like it would have just shut off and been on and off really fast.
So he's saying he would walk to parts of the stage and lose signal until he moved to another place. Yeah, that's weird.
That's a really bad wireless setup.
Yeah, there's like something's not connecting.
Really
right,
bad wireless setup.
That happened to Brandon at, I think it was our New Year's Eve. No.
You could get interference, like if you have your phone in your pocket. I know this for a fact, like, because I have a little mixer board that my stuff goes through. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for hanging out and weighing in, buddy. Appreciate that. If I put my phone near my little mixer, I'll get some interference sound.
Yeah, but this doesn't sound like that's what. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It sounds like the aliens in Signs.
Right. So don't put your.
But that sounds like that wasn't his problem.
Yeah.
Like that was more. I bet like, we have to be really careful on where we put our antennas.
Yeah.
And they have to be pointing a certain direction, and they can't be within a certain range of each other, and they can't be like I don't know if they can't be pointing at each other or something. I can't remember what it is. I don't usually set them up. I do it every now and then. I'm like, now what do I have to do? But there was one gig we played, and I felt like it was at the Knitting Factory, but I don't remember exactly where it was. And Brandon's ears were just full on cutting out.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what was happening, but it seemed like if I went behind him, it got worse. And I don't know, like, and so I had to like not.
Yeah, just a weird.
It was a weird thing, and it's never happened before, and it's never happened again.
Yeah.
But he's like, I can't hear anything. Like, it was just they were gone. He couldn't hear himself playing. Nothing. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
So, and you know, when you're like right in the middle of a gig, like you can't just like, hold on, I got to go read.
Now I don't know if this is a solution for your band specifically in that case, but I think being able to switch to a wired option for your ears is something to have at the ready. Just like when a guitar player is playing wireless, sometimes they have a cord ready to go that they can bypass the whole wireless thing if necessary.
I had a gig where it was Jason was filling in for Adam, and we were playing, I think it was the Center on the Grove. And so it was all our sound, but he doesn't use in-ears. He doesn't have that. And so we had a wedge on the front of the stage for him. Well, something happened with my ear pack. Like the batteries weren't sitting in right. And I thought the batteries died. And I was like, man, we just barely started. My batteries were charged. What the heck? And I was singing and all of a sudden my ears went out. And I was so glad that there was this wedge there as a backup, because all of a sudden I couldn't hear like anything.
Yeah.
And so it was there. But yeah, it's nice to have a backup.
So I'm going to say yes to John here. Seems like using in-ear monitors and having a silent stage would be similar to a recording studio experience, playing in the same room, but having amps, drums isolated in other rooms and having headphones on with individual separate mixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. It's like the studio experience. However, like the over-the-ear cans, like at least the ones that we have here, allow a lot of sound to come in around it, so they're not super isolating. The in-ear monitors are really isolating. So like when we practice here, I have live drums, right? But everybody's got their in-ears in, and so that's sort of like putting earplugs in, so it takes the harshness of the drums out, and then you have the mic'd nice sounding drums coming through your ears, and you can
you do. I don't know if they actually put drums in their ears, since you're right there, but
yeah,
I know you probably like.
But yes, John, it's like the studio experience.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, very much.
Definitely. Well, thanks everybody for joining us and sharing your thoughts and experiences with the in-ear monitors. Yeah. It sounds like for the most part, everybody watching is in favor of.
Yeah.
But there are definitely those musicians out there that have had a bad experience with them, and because of that experience, they're like, just like Greg, like, you show up to play a gig, and well, first of all, who was wearing the in-ears before? Yeah,
gross.
That's gross.
Gross.
Like there's just some things that shouldn't be shared, and taking my in-ears and putting it in somebody else's ears, that's right?
It's like sharing underwear almost.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be really uncomfortable at first, but after a while you might forget.
No. I'd be thinking
I don't remember
about that
staining this underwear.
Ew. God.
Oh. Oh, Greg says they had brand new in-ears for me.
Oh, thank God.
Crisis averted. Crisis averted. Oh
yeah. Also, if you use in-ears, don't forget to bring them to the gig.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or have a backup pair that you keep in the sound system or something in case yours fail.
Chris has a really good question here.
Oh.
Fred, do you feel as a player there was some adjustment needed for you to adapt to knowing what volume you were playing at? That was a struggle for me. I don't think it was brought to my attention in the early stages, but I do know now I try to have the volume of my in-ears to match the physicality of what I'm doing. So if I play really lay in, then it gets louder in my ears. And if I play quiet, it gets quiet in my ears. And I try to match the volume of my in-ears to what I'm physically doing. So I still have that dynamic presence in my in-ears. And it's really, really important to do that. I tell that to my students too who play electric drums. Because
oh yeah, it's always weird when they come in.
you can, like my students who play electric drums have a tendency to play really quiet, and they kind of just tap at the drums rather than actually hit them.
Yeah, because they're hitting these electronic things. That's like, do, do,
so
do,
at home, they've got headphones on, right? And they're just tapping at their drums, but they sound like they're playing Wembley Stadium. You know? And I'm like, oh, we got to get your volume on your electric drums to match the physicality that you're putting into the instrument. So that's my answer, Chris, is make sure that your volume matches what you're physically putting into.
And how does one know that it's matching?
Well, I think just the experience of playing just your drums acoustically and you sitting there listening to them.
Without your ears in?
Yeah. So that you have that same kind of feel and response to match what you hear in your ears.
Or take one ear out while you're making your adjustments and see like, this is how I would normally play.
Yeah. You could do that too.
So Chris, are you suggesting like, you said it was a struggle for you. Are you saying that like you weren't playing loud enough and you thought you were playing loud, or
I'm going to say that he was probably playing too loud.
Okay.
I think most drummers probably tend to play too loud.
Well, unless you have the volume up loud in your ears, you might think you're playing louder than you really are. Just like with the electronics.
Yeah, that's true too. I just think that whatever you're hearing in your ears needs to match what you're physically putting into the instrument. Right. That's my answer.
I guess if you're still trying to work that out, maybe take one ear out and see.
Chris says he's a heavy hitter.
You're a heavy hitter.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So
then you would need to bring the volume up so that you're not thinking you're playing quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my suggestion is make sure that what you hear in your ears matches what you're physically putting in. I think I've said that like 5 times now.
Probably.
Yeah. But that's what like I said earlier, that's what I tell my students who play electric drums too. Like, drums are a physical instrument. Not that other instruments aren't, but I mean, you're physically hitting something with a pair of sticks, right? You're beating an instrument with sticks.
Yeah.
And you gotta match the volume. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Okay. How you feel about today's show, Mary?
Great.
I love the face that you made with what? I wasn't expecting that question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wasn't expecting that.
What do you
question.
want me to say?
Well,
I feel like it was a good discussion.
Yeah.
I think if you just don't like in-ears, don't play with them. But don't suggest that people who use them are unprofessional and don't know how to play with feel or dynamics.
Now that you say that, I feel like that comment kind of got under my skin a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was a little annoying.
You said a little snarky sounding.
Yeah,
probably.
It came across snarky.
Yeah, so. It's that. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up shoes.
Oh no! Oh, we were so close to being done.
I know, but I have my opinions about seeing iPads on stage. Right?
What? I've never heard you talk about that.
Well, I was just thinking about...
Sometimes people use iPads for things other than lyrics and music.
I know.
Sometimes it's for their sound.
It's for their in-ear monitors and things like that.
Or controls the patches and stuff on their keyboard or whatever.
Right. And I think those can be placed in a way that are less distracting than when they have an iPad that's this big mounted to their music stand. And this is what you see the singer doing on stage.
And then they're scrolling through it.
Yeah, they're going...
Oh, come on. Why are you scrolling?
Especially the musicians that have played those songs 100 times. It's like people driving to and from work using the GPS year after year. Like, don't you know how to get to work and home by now?
Yeah.
That's another
Well, you
show.
know the thing with the GPS.
Yes.
Well, this is a totally different topic.
Sure.
The cool thing about the GPS, even though you know where you're going, if you put it in the GPS, you'll know if there's like traffic issues or if there's construction, and it'll reroute you.
Yeah, but you would know that going that route every day.
No.
You would see the signs, construction starting.
No, this is the guy who sits in the house all day long and doesn't go out and drive like I do. So yeah, I'll be just driving along Lake Hazel and I cross Eagle and I'm like heading to, and I don't know until I get another mile down the road that you can't get through to Meridian. Oh, great. So then you have, but had I put in the GPS, like it would have said, oh no, you need to go down Eagle and then turn left on Amity or whatever. Like
Greg says you have just had a bad experience with flip-flops. Give him a chance.
Oh, Fred hates flip-flops.
Oh, I know. Flip-flops.
I've been trying to get him to give him a chance. I used to wear flip-flops in the winter, for crying out loud. Like if it wasn't snowing or raining, I had on some kind of a sandal.
I don't even like to wear flip-flops.
I just haven't found a good, but I haven't worn them in a few years because I haven't found a good pair. Like the only ones I find are like super cheap. And then like you could be walking through, you know, where the kids play baseball and now you've got 20 goat heads stuck through the shoe and you're like,
okay, most people's feet are like this.
Stop it,
Mary's
Fred.
feet are like this.
No. Stop it, Fred.
Mary has this, like, her big toe does not want to be friends with the other four, and it's like she could put her foot around your. That's what Mary could do that with her.
So you hate flip flops because I have a weird thing with my.
I hate flip flops and feet.
If everybody must know, my big toe on my left foot, I had this genetic thing, and my mom had it, my aunt had it, my grandma had it. Like the big toe, like instead of just going straight, it went. It was like too busy sticking its nose in the business of the toe next to it.
Yeah.
And it was like underneath it a little bit. But I ran track. I was a sprinter. Your toe took a
90 degrees.
I was a sprinter in track for several years, and running on your toes, it screwed up like the growth or whatever. Like it kind of was, the doctor said that it was trying to keep my second toe from growing with the rest of it. And so it was causing me a lot of pain. And so when I graduated high school, I had surgery to straighten out that big toe.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Doctor, like he straightened it, and then my big toe just kept going the other direction.
Yeah.
And so now instead of going left under the other toe, it's going clear off to the right, and it wants to just leave the shoe altogether.
It's trying to mate with your other foot. It wants to be 6 toes on one foot and 4 on the other.
It looks like I'm missing a toe.
It does. It looks like you had a toe removed. Mary used to have 6 toes, but they removed the one that was here. So that she's... Yeah.
Everybody's going to throw up now.
Well, yep. Well, let's wrap this up. John England says, great show. You two are funny. Lots of good information. Feel and dynamics is everything. 100%. Whatever you do, take care of your shoes.
That's right.
That's right.
And your feet.
Well, let me take you to breakfast, Mrs. Producer.
All right.
Let's go do that. And we'll see you all next week. And yeah.
Okay.
Put your ears in.
All right. Happy music playing. Be creative today.
Yeah, it's World Creativity and Innovation Day.
So it doesn't have to be music, but do something musical.
Yeah, do something musical.
And then post it on your Facebook or whatever and tag the Drummergy podcast.
Hey, that's a great idea.
So we can see it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. You guys have an awesome day. See you, Greg.
Bye.